What if I told you anxiety isn't your enemy? It's actually a sign of your innate confidence trying to break through. It's a radical reframing, but it's very powerful and it can really help you. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to see anxiety as a manifestation of your deeper confidence using the third and most powerful phrase from the ancient Buddhist teachings. This is from Garib Dorje, the 10th century master who was known for debating as a child the great masters and turning them into his disciples because his wisdom was so profound. It's called the three phrases that strike the vital point. We're kind of shrinking it down a bit from the lofty goals that he had to just use it to overcome anxiety, but you are more than welcome to look at the bigger system and go for full enlightenment with it as well, and I highly recommend that. So stick around because hopefully this will really help you change your relationship for anxiety and free yourself from some of the more serious problems, anxiety, and maybe anxiety altogether, all the issues of it. So confidence isn't something you build, it's something you reveal. That's the principal theme here. Now, people can build a sort of confidence, which is generally what we think of as confidence. They can sort of construct it out of their ability to relate to the world and their sort of, kind of puffed up confidence styles. But we're not talking about that here. We're talking about something different. And the first 2 points, which are recognize the face of confidence and decide on one point, we take those in a step-by-step fashion. Now in this one, we are gaining confidence in the confidence. Getting some feeling that this can actually work. We're getting some excitement about it. So we're going to dive into this third most direct technique for gaining confidence in liberation from anxiety. So if you've been following along, you've encountered the other two methods, but this one is the heart of it all. It's where you really surpass and make it your life instead of just an idea, instead of just an experience. It becomes who you are. So if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, watch them first. And here is the first one, and you can follow from there into the second one. So in this video, you're going to learn how to see anxiety as a manifestation of your innate confidence. You're going to use the gain confidence in liberation method to dissolve anxiety at its root, to supplant anxiety. And you're going to apply 2 powerful techniques to bring this confidence into your daily life. So by the end, my hope is that you will have and use this profound tool to help you face anxiety with an unshakable confidence. And if you truly want to grasp confidence at its deepest level, you need to understand how even anxiety itself arises from confidence. If you're intrigued, let's get into it. The key practice here revolves around these 3 phrases, often called the 3 words or the 3 statements that strike the vital point. They originate from the teachings of Garib Dorje, and they serve as a direct path to realizing the nature of mind. We're not aiming that high. We're aiming at just overcoming anxiety, but we're looking at some of the deep and real virtues that are embedded in the mind, especially the sense of confidence. And we're using it to help us supplant anxiety by bringing up one of our enlightened, self-existing virtues. So unlike the previous methods, which approach confidence slightly more indirectly, this one is more raw, it's more immediate, it's more powerful, but it's not easy to master. So you do need to step through the first 2 techniques first, and then this one really builds on that and puts the nail through the board. So the essence of this technique is to recognize that every arising thought, including anxiety, doubt, or fear, is actually a manifestation of underlying confidence. So there are 2 ways that confidence appears. A settled confidence. This is a stable, innate knowing that remains undisturbed. This is a confidence in meditation. The second is a dynamic confidence. This is one that moves with the fluctuations of the mind, even when thoughts appear turbulent. It's able to surf the excesses of mind. It doesn't need calmness to be confident. It can be confident in movement. They're really the same, but for the purposes of dealing with anxiety, it makes sense to treat them as separate and to feel them as arising in a different way. So when anxiety arises, instead of treating it as an obstacle, we recognize it as confidence itself taking a specific form. This shift in perspective is completely transformative. When your anxiety arises, if you say, that's actually my confidence arising, it means that even in moments of doubt, the mind is displaying its natural confidence. It's just appearing as movement. How do you deepen this practice? How do you even get into this practice? Well, the first two methods of recognizing the face of confidence and descending on one point are how you begin to make this relationship. But to deepen it, visualize confidence as a brilliant light within the mind. There are other methods, but this one is kind of fundamental and it's closer to the best practices, as they say. So the color can vary depending on what resonates within you. Green or blue-black. These two colors are associated with what's called the all-accomplishing wisdom. It's strong, it's vibrant, it's like it knows that everything is already done. There's nothing to particularly do except just to rest in the confidence. It's a powerful, deep presence, steady and unwavering. The other one is blazing white. Blazing white is purity, clarity. It just cuts through all confusion. It's not caught in the relative endeavors. It doesn't even consider them as appearing in a certain sense. In a sense, you could use the white in meditation proper and use the green or the blue-black, depending on what feels good, in your life, in your activities. So when thoughts arise, don't resist them. When anxiety arises, don't fight it. See it as expression of the confidence, like light radiating outward. See it as the colored light. Even anxiety, rather than being something to fight against, it's simply this luminous energy manifesting in an active way. It's poised, it's ready to engage. It's not afraid unless you decide it's afraid. If you decide it's confidence, then it becomes enthusiasm, energy, excitement, confidence. All you have to do is reframe it. And it's not as easy as it sounds, but it's very simple. But sometimes the simplest things are the hardest. So for some people, this direct method is going to feel very, very challenging. Matter of fact, for everybody it will at first. If that's the case, there's a second technique, a little double step that'll make it much easier. When your anxiety arises in a situation, pull back, settle back. You're not pulling back from the anxiety per se, you're pulling back from the situation. Step back into the settled confidence, the white version of it. The second technique is to settle your innate confidence and let it filter up through your thoughts and feelings. So that's instead of trying to manifest the confidence, settle into the confidence and let it just bubble up. Let it sort of let the light shine into whatever you're thinking. Let it pervade it, fill it, and then that confidence becomes those things. It outshines any of the other lesser emotions. This is a more approachable method, especially if the first technique feels a little too abstract. So by settling into confidence first, you create a foundation that allows you to face anxiety with relative ease and increasing ease the more you practice it. Over time, this practice will become effortless. It will begin to feel good. It will begin to feel clear and blissful and automatic. Confidence arises naturally whenever anxiety appears. So number two, another technique, is allow confidence to rise through the thoughts. Rather than trying to force a shift, let the stability of confidence naturally emerge and flow into whatever thoughts and emotions arise. Let the confidence arise as the thoughts. So this is kind of the same as the other one, but you can see subtle differences if you work with it. The confidence arises as the thoughts, or the confidence can penetrate the thoughts as they are. It's The second one is, you could say, a little gentler even, but it's equally effective. So over time, it allows the mind to naturally recognize that confidence and movements are not separate. They are two expressions of the same reality. Confidence can be dynamic. We're trying to get to that point. So we feel the confidence in meditation, but the mind is still then. But we need to have access to that confidence when the shit hits the fan, as they say, when things are happening. Our mind is in chaos. We need to get that so that confidence arises, so that it arises on its own and we don't have to think about it. That's what this technique's all about. Number three, how do you bring it all together? The key is to see that even in the most settled state, there is a slight movement in the mind, and even in the most active state, there's a deep stillness that is part of the mind, that is a fundamental character of the mind. So anxiety and confidence, in a way, they're not separate. Often I talk about it as if confidence is the opposite of anxiety, and that's true at a certain level, but at a really deep level, at the vast level of emptiness, they're just reflections of each other. Opposites are always, in a sense, reflections of one another. So you just turn the mirror around and you're looking at confidence instead of anxiety. They're both just slightly different expressions or reflections of the same underlying reality. So by mastering this understanding, it's not easy, but it's doable, you can transform anxiety into a source of strength and liberation. So if you want to go deeper in the method, check out the full course on overcoming anxiety through meditation. It explores how to transform anxiety into a powerful force for awakening. Or if you're interested in more practical applications, click on this next video where we explore another essential meditation technique. Until next time, stay present, stay confident, keep practicing, and remember, you have innate confidence.